KTSM 9 News at 6 starts right now.
El Paso County Commissioners giving themselves a raise in salary and approving a new tax rate, which means you, the taxpayer, will see an increase in your property taxes. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Natasha Paloma. KTSM 9 News reporter Skylar Soto has been at Commissioners Court for us and explains.
Well, the county commissioners voted 4-1 in favor of adopting the new highest tax rate, with Commissioner Ileana Holguin being the only one to vote against. Now, this new rate is to increase funds for operations as well as raises for county employees, including commissioners and other elected officials. Now, 25 people signed up for public comment today, forcing concerns on the county raising its tax rate. Most of those speaking said they did not agree with elected officials giving themselves a raise. And County Judge Ricardo Samaniego said the new rate includes funding for other projects and saying raises are only a small portion of the rate.
Families are having to make decisions, even a meager $100 of extra added burden with the adopted rate. You know, that's going to hurt people. That's going to probably make or break some families. Families are not secure financially.
The new tax rate will raise property taxes by about $100. The new tax rate will raise property taxes by about $100 for the average El Paso homeowner. And currently, county commissioners make $114,000 a year, and the county judge makes $135,000. Now, this raise will increase their salaries to $133,000 for commissioners and about $152,000 for the judge. Now, the county also approved a raise for UMC employees, raising the minimum wage from $14 to $50. Live in downtown El Paso, I'm Skylar Soto, KTSM 9 News. Natasha.
Skylar, thank you. The murder trial against Bernard Walter Chrisman, the man accused of killing Southwest Airlines employee Juan Anzaldo, began today. As KTSM previously reported, Chrisman allegedly killed Anzaldo in the airport parking lot back in November of 2021. KTSM 9 News reporter Tani Davis is at the courtroom. She will have more coming up in the next half hour. We are learning new details about the woman accused of being involved in a deadly crash over the weekend in the Lower Valley. As we've previously reported, 26-year-old Cassandra Hernandez is accused of driving drunk and rear-ending another vehicle while driving along Loop 375. The second vehicle hit the guardrail, rolled over, and collided with a metal pole. 40-year-old Alondra Rojas died at the scene. Court documents obtained by KTSM say Hernandez allegedly admitted to bar hopping in downtown El Paso before the crash early Saturday morning. Hernandez allegedly told police she drank 2 or 3 shots at a bar, and police also found a receipt in Hernandez's pocket that showed a sale and purchase of several alcoholic drinks. A witness says they saw Hernandez driving recklessly and speeding. We're going to take a moment to get a check-in with weather now with our chief meteorologist, Monica Cortez. Monica, I am hearing that thunder out there constantly, actually.
It was so perfect timing. It almost waited until it was my hit here during this time of the show. Well, let me tell you really quickly what's going on. Check out this mess. So we are seeing quite a bit of storms all over El Paso. And so I kind of want to start in and zoom in a little closer. You're going to notice we have storms from side to side of the city. Let's go ahead and start off first with Socorro. Socorro got drenched, and they continue to do so throughout parts of that area. Lightning definitely associated with it. There was that possibility for some hail, so if you did get to see anything, go ahead and send it to me so we can share with the rest of our viewers. As for the west side, look at how intense it's getting at this hour. Let's go ahead and zoom in first into West El Paso, and you're going to be seeing some heavy rainfall down on Red, Belvedere, or you're seeing in North Mesa, Montoya. So from northwest to the upper valley, we are seeing this heavy rainfall coming down. Lightning also associated with this. And as for Anthony, we're definitely seeing some of this rain coming down. Anthony Vinton is also getting it. La Tuna, Levy. So lots going on at this hour. If you are out on the roads, make sure you're taking extra time and do not speed, as that could contribute to some accidents this evening. Let's go ahead and take a quick look outside. Speaking of traffic, to our TechStalk cameras and check this out. I-10 Mesa. Things are looking quite intense out there. You can definitely see the rain pouring down, and it is creating some very slick roads out there tonight. So like I said, if you do have to head on out right now, make sure you give yourself plenty of time. Slow and go is how you'll have to take it for the rest of the ride. Back to you, Natasha.
Monica, thank you. Today, UTEP welcoming thousands of students back to campus. KTSM spoke with some students who say they are excited for the fall semester.
I'm having a good time. Honestly, it's a really nice, different environment than like from high school and other schools and all like that. It's a nice, different change. If that makes sense. Like instead of like having to stay in one building, you're a whole community here. So.
And students at UTEP have an action-packed 2 weeks to look forward to because the university is kicking off the 2023 school year with minor welcoming activities. That's where we find Robert Bettis, who is out there right now. He, I believe, is going to speak with the Vice President of Student Affairs. But Robert, are you staying dry out there? Is there rain out there right now?
Tonight at UTEP, God willing and weather permitting, at 7 o'clock tonight, there's going to be the Texas Western Gold Rush. Now, what is that, you might ask? Well, if you tuned in at 5, you saw me warming up with one of the bands. It's a whole array of bands and fireworks. It's a way to welcome the kids back to another great year at UTEP. Now, on the stage behind me down there at Centennial Park, you can see they plopped up the severe weather seek shelter. Well, when there's lightning bolts crackling all around you and flashes, you definitely want to be smart and get under a cover. But that doesn't mean there isn't going to be good fortune tonight, because the thunderstorm that's just north of UTEP is actually moving to the south as we speak. And as it does, of course, that could free us up for a wonderful night of activities. Joining me now is Dr. Katie McCory-Angelis.
Yes.
I placed you under, you're not supposed to be under a tree, but no. I placed her there, so we're going to be okay. We're going to be fine.
We are.
All right. What a wonderful event. The bands are great.
Yes.
They're rearing to go.
Absolutely. We're excited. It's a great way to culminate a first day of the fall semester.
Okay, full disclosure, I got to brag about my son, William.
Okay.
Tomorrow is his first night of his MPA, Masters of Public Accountancy. You have an MPA.
I do.
And
I
you,
do.
And you got your PhD here at UTEP.
I did, yes. So your son's going to be a UTEP alum, and I'm a UTEP alum. It's a great community to be part of. When are we going to get you to be a UTEP alum?
Well, as soon as I retire and pay off all my kids' college educations, I'll be back to get my PhD.
Absolutely.
I'm assuming you have atmospheric physics. But 24,000 students. And I got to say, I know the previous president, as you look around, and I'll show this place. This is one of the most beautiful campuses in America. There's nothing like it. It's gorgeous. And I know Dr. Wilson, our current president, now she's going after the academics. So how is UTEP changing?
I think in a lot of different ways. We have increased the amount of research opportunities for our students, particularly our undergraduate students, so they can engage in research as early as their first year of coming into our institution. We're expanding the number of majors and PhD programs. We literally just launched our PhD in sociology and anthropology, which is really exciting for us. And then what goes hand in hand with academics is engagement, because you need to have those opportunities both in and outside the classroom to put what you learn to practice.
Okay, so not to be negative Nelly,
that's okay.
But in the event there is a severe storm right over Centennial Park at 7, what's the backup plan?
Well, the backup plan is we will probably postpone until tomorrow night.
But we're not going to think like that, because it's going to clear and it's going to be fine.
Absolutely it is.
Thank you so much.
Anytime.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
Being here.
Natasha, let's pray for good weather.
I am praying as we speak. Well, coming up, UTEP football in action this week during opening weekend of the 2023 college football season. We have a recap for you coming up in sports. Thank you so much for watching KTSM 9 News at 6, putting local first.
3 Toyota Highlander. Visit us at 6330 Montana or go to potoyota.com to
Wow, what an active day, right? So here is a live picture of I-10 at Osborne. It looks a little dark, I don't know why, but you're definitely seeing that rain coming down. I-10 Mesa was looking pretty flooded as well earlier today as heavy rainfall came down. This is a live picture of I-10 Mesa. Look at that traffic. Guys, slow and go is the way you'll go today because of that rain. So pack on being late wherever you're expecting to go, or just simply take extra time out of your commute to make sure you get there safely. No need to rush. Definitely you don't want to do that in this kind of weather. Let's go ahead and talk about exactly what's going on around the region. So we have our monsoonal storms tonight, which is rather exciting. Remember, August is on average the wettest month of the year, and it's finally, right, the last few days of the month, finally living up to its name. So very active day here in El Paso. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on. You have those massive storms out towards the west. You have this system that just really came down hard on Socorro, already starting to move south. Got to see some rain out in Clint. So let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit in Socorro, and you're going to notice that Clint got hit a little bit, but the bulk of the storm, or the brunt of the storm, all came down in Socorro, and so everything is starting to move in that southwesterly direction. Let's focus into West El Paso now. You're seeing parts of Anthony, Canutillo, far west El Paso, I should say, and this is what we are seeing. So red finally starting to kind of say goodbye to that heavy rainfall. Everything is slowly moving towards the south. Belvedere is still dealing with that heavy rainfall. Montoya, like you just saw. Mesa, looking at Donovan, still seeing some heavy rainfall, and so we're definitely seeing it here in this part of town. As we move further north over into Anthony, Vinton, again, everything is slowly shifting out of the way, which is fantastic. Las Cruces, you have this really massive system out towards the west of the Mesilla Valley, so not getting too much. If anything, you're definitely getting those gusts. Right now, temperatures went from 98 to 89. That's a big drop in temperatures, but that's what rain will do for you. We're looking at 37 mile per hour gusts, very strong gust at this hour. Easterly winds at about 21 miles per hour. And just to point out, in case you guys hadn't noticed, we were actually seeing some really cool text out video right now on I-10 Red. Just keep an eye out if you do see your way to work or home on the screen. Just keep that in mind. 99 was your official high for today, so close to triple digits. 93 is seasonal for this time of year. We were well above average. 104 was your record, so thankfully stayed away from that. 76 is how we started off this morning. 73 is what we're forecasting tonight into tomorrow morning. 70 in Juarez and about 68 in Las Cruces. Cooling trend will take effect as soon as this cold front comes and goes. And as we take a look at your 9-day forecast, look at what we expect for tomorrow. 92 degrees with that 30% chance of morning and afternoon rain. By the evening hours, we should begin to dry and will stay dry Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and into the weekend. You're going to notice that Thursday, Friday, we're going to be so close to those triple-digit highs, just like we were today. So if we hadn't warmed so much today, that cool front would have come in and we would have dropped into the 80s. Didn't happen, so we're low 90s, but then we're back into those upper 90s, close to triple digits for the next 8 days. Not exactly excited about it, but at this point, if it's below 100, I'll take it. Let's go ahead and give a big shout out to our weather watcher tonight. This is Joanne Epp. Thank you so much for allowing us to see this beautiful, cool sunset from this weekend. What a gorgeous shot. And if you'd like to be featured on KTSM 9 News, go ahead and submit those beautiful weather photos to us through our social media platforms or email news@ktsm.com. We'll be right back after
Register for the 2023 YMCA Turkey Trot now and receive $10 off.
And now, KTSM 9 Sports with Sam Guzman. Sponsored by Glushine Vyas and Enderman Injury Lawyers.
3rd down and 1 with the big man, Deion Hankins, in the backfield. The throw it. Hardison's going end zone shot, and it is incomplete.
What the heck were you doing there on 3rd and short? You're going to throw a fade, but now you're going for it on 4th down. They better get this.
Hankins in the backfield. They'll throw it. Hardison looking, fires, and it's intercepted! They threw it! Dana Dimmel and UTEP, they're going to start the season at 0-1.
It's been the talk of the town. The late game decision by UTEP to throw the ball on 3rd and 4th down when they were just 1 yard away from a 1st down and keeping their hopes of winning its season opener against Jax State alive. Instead, the Miners' drive and night ended in disappointment. Down 3 with 1:21 to go in the game, UTEP went with a fade in the end zone to Kelly Akari on 3rd and 1. Great pass, but better defense. Akari gave credit to Jax State cornerback Derek Carter, saying he made one good play there. On 4th and 1, UTEP decided to throw again. This time, Gavin Hardison was picked off, and the game was over. UTEP loses. Today, we heard from UTEP head coach Dana Dimmel and company on their decision to throw on 4th and 1. UTEP liked the play call, just couldn't execute, but they have no regrets when they look back at it.
I was playing to win. I wasn't playing to tie. You know what I mean? I wanted to go win that game, and that's aggressiveness. If I was playing for the tie, I would have ran the ball. So I've thought it over. It didn't work, but I wouldn't do it any other way if I had another chance.
The call was the throw, and it was a great play, and it was if we just execute right, it would have been there, but forced it, and now we're here. So I got to turn around and win this week.
When Dimmel was asked about taking a field goal to tie the game, Dimmel said he didn't want to put that on a freshman kicker Buzz Flabiano from 41 yards out. Instead, the option to go with his experienced offense and go to 2 of his top wide receivers in Akari and Tyron Smith on those plays. It is just game 1 of the season. Still a lot of football to be played. Miners will look to bounce back against FCS program Incarnate Word on Saturday at the Summit Bowl. The New Mexico State football team also suffered a 41-30 loss in its season opener to UMass on Saturday. NMSU head coach Jerry Kill said the result was, quote, certainly disappointing. One of the big things for Kill and the Aggies moving forward now is trying to figure out its offense. Senior quarterback Diego Pavia said the offense was sloppy in the first half and took full responsibility for it. The offense had 3 total turnovers in the game, 1 fumble and 2 interceptions. One of them returned for 6. It was an underwhelming performance for an Aggies offense that was expected to be much stronger than it was last year. Now again, it's only the first game, but the Aggies know there's work to be done on that side of the ball if that offensive unit wants to meet its high expectations this year.
There's some good things, but at the same time, we got to figure out who we are on offense. That's one thing. You know, we got good receivers, we got good running backs. We got to say this is what we're going to hang our hat on. You look at Alabama, you know who they are offensively. We got to, like I said, we got a lot of new players. We got some receivers that can play. We got some guys. We got to figure out how to utilize everybody and get people where they need to be.
Kill and the Aggies will have another chance to find its offensive identity when they take on Western Illinois on Saturday at Aggie Memorial Stadium. Former Canutillo football standout L.J. Martin has been making a name for himself at BYU as a freshman. Martin has had a great offseason. BYU offensive coordinator Aaron Roderick already said that Martin is one of the best players on the team's roster, and today we got to see it. BYU released its depth chart for its Week 1 game against Sam Houston on Saturday, and on it you'll find L.J. Martin. He was listed 3rd on the Cougars' depth chart at the running back position. He's impressed a lot of folks over at BYU so far, and now he's earned himself a chance at suiting up and getting some playing time as a true freshman this season.
The best get on the depth chart, and the best will be on the field. And, you know, a lot of these freshmen are stepping up. L.J. Martin's another one that he's going to see the field. He's got tons of talent, great vision. He's big, and he runs fast.
L.J.'s a fantastic football player and a great person, and I kind of feel like he's a little bit beyond his years. He's definitely going to be a really good player. He's going to contribute for us a lot this season.
Martin and BYU will open up its 2023 season against Sam Houston on Saturday. Kickoff is at 8:15 p.m. in Utah. Game will air on Fox Sports 1, so make sure to set your recording there. Monica?
All right, so this is what we are monitoring as of now. We are definitely seeing that rain coming down in parts of West El Paso. In fact, do you see that polygon that's that green that highlights a certain part of town? Well, that is a flood advisory, which basically means, hey, we kind of saw a little bit of flooding in certain parts of town, so just be careful, in this case, the west side. So just keep that in mind if you are traveling to or from West El Paso. There is a little bit of flooding in certain parts. Just be mindful of that. The system is expected to quickly break apart, and it will begin to dry out later on tonight.
We saw Robert out there at UTEP, and they were bracing themselves that they're having all those festivities. Do you think UTEP will be safe, or is that storm heading down towards that area?
So everything is moving in a southerly direction. Basically, we have a lot of activity towards the north. So if we do get another system moving in, there is that chance that we could see another pop-up storm kind of developing over us.
All right, Monica, thank you. Stay safe out there. KTSM 9 News Now with Estela Casas is up next. Have a great night.
Bye.
Hair, makeup, and men's grooming, sponsored by